This is a warning. The Grim Reaper of radio, Bob Romanik, with his off-the-record show is about to air. He's probably the nastiest and craziest son of a bitch that you've ever had the misfortune to encounter. The Grim Reaper show will be very controversial and probably quite tasteless. If you are even slightly offended by controversial matter concerning religion, racial matters, politics, or life's problems, you are hereby warned to turn this program off immediately. The Grim Reaper show will be, like his face, very scary and very ugly. At this time, not proudly, but shamefully presents to you Bob Romanik, the craziest son of a bitch on the radio today.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, your guardian of the First Amendment, Radical Radio. And we are, as always, you hear me proud, very proud to be the Patriot. Good Monday morning, everybody. I want to say, and I want to thank Mayor Seth Spicer, the fire department, the homecoming committee, everyone in the great village of Freeburg, Illinois. Had a great parade on Saturday, a great reception. It was humbling, you tell me, with all the support that we had. We, the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, people yelling and screaming, not cussing, yelling and screaming good. And I want to thank everybody. It was very, very humbling. I got to say, we've been on Kern's ass quite a bit. I call him Sweet Cakes Kern, and you guys will find out. If you don't already know, you'll find out why. But they tell me I'm going in the parade, and people are yelling, screaming, saying, thank you, Bob. And I say, no, thank the veterans. And I mean this sincerely. Thank the veterans who fought and some died to give not just me, but you and them the right to speak free. All I am is a messenger. But when they said, thank you, Bob, I jumped out of my car. I said, no, you thank the brave military heroes. Because of them, and only because of them, do I have the right to speak free. See, I'm just the voice of all of us. I'm no better. I'm no worse than anybody. None of us are perfect. I just happen to be here, sitting here. I'm just the voice of all of us. It's not the voice of Bob Romanik. It's a voice of the vast majority of people, American people, black, white, men, women, Democrats, and Republicans who are tired of this crap that's going on. And I'm just the one delivering the message. You guys, if you didn't need the money, if you didn't need to have a job, if you had the opportunity to sit where I'm sitting, you'd probably be worse than I am. I'm just speaking for all of us. So never, never, never put me on a pedestal. Never, never, never think that I'm better than anyone. And please, never, never think that I'm worse than anyone. I don't want to be better. I don't want to be worse. I want to be the same. I want to be one of us, not one of them. But anyway, I'm driving down. Guy's got a little dress, and he says, hey, Bob, this is for Sweet Cakes. He wants to know where the dress is. Here's the dress. And now it's alleged now. I haven't confirmed it, but I think it did happen. When Kern came by, they're always throwing the candy back at Kern. They always call him Sweet Cakes. A guy put up the dress and say, hey, Kern, this dress is for you. He walked to the other side, Kern did, with his red face. He said he thought he was a thermometer with 150 temperature.
Where's the dress?
Whoa.
Where's the dress? Tell me where's the dress? Where's the dress?
Now, Mo, let's get on down to the store and get some lipstick and some rouge.
Where's the dress? Hey, Joe, why don't we do this thing up right and get some of them ostrich balloons?
You know,
where's the dress?
I was wondering if they made a pink pump in a size 12, Mo.
Where's the dress?
Hey, Kern, you know that pink pump that you're looking for? For as bad as you screwed everybody in St. Clair County, I'd like to take that pink pump and shove it up your pink ass, if you know what I mean. And I think your political ass, of course. But they say, Mrs. Kern Sasquatch and Mrs. Kern, the Bob Buffet is always open. $10.95, all you can eat, filet mignon Bob. And for you, Mrs. Buckley out in Caseyville, goes same for you. But they say Mrs. Kern got so mad that she allegedly, at this point, and we will confirm it, allegedly cussed this guy out and flipped him off, give him the one-finger salute. Now, that's what a lady does. That's what a lady does. Cusses somebody out and gives them a one-finger salute. And I have to say to you, Kern, you idiot, why do you get your wife involved? See, people, he gets his wife involved to do the fighting. When they arrested me, he never once came to court. His name wasn't on anything. He pushed her out there. That's what kind of a less of a man that this rotten bastard is. No good son of a bitch wasn't there for the jury verdict, wasn't there for the testimony of his son. I would have been in the front row supporting my son. Kern, I swear to you people, was nowhere in the courtroom the whole time. That shows you what a no-good son of a bitch he is. I'd go into a flame of fire for my family. Kern wouldn't come to the courtroom, and he sends his wife out. And then when people say, hey, Romanik, you pick on his wife, well, the wife is the man of the house. She's the one that Kern, is pushing out on political Front Street. I don't give a damn, a man or woman. They come after me with the gun, a political gun, of course. I'm going to blow their head off, their political head off, of course. So don't get on to me, people. Oh, you're picking on Mrs. Kern. He throws her. He doesn't have the guts. He doesn't have the testicles to come out and fight. He makes her sign the complaint. He makes her cuss people out. He makes her give the finger to people. Allegedly, of course, until we confirm it. These guys are running crazy, people. They're running scared. They don't know what to do. Kern again's going to spend all this money, and I challenge you another time, Kern. Take $50,000 out of that $500,000 budget of your mother's and father's money, not the money that you've worked for and earned. Take that money. Don't throw it away on ads with your nasty-ass looking face. Let's take $50,000 apiece, Kern, and feed the hungry, feed the poor, feed the less fortunate. Let's do something positive with that money. It's a waste of money, people. They're going to put negative ads out on me. And I tell them, and I'm serious as a heart attack, you've never had a candidate running for office is crazy. You think a candidate will tell you he's nuts? Well, I'm nuts. And I'm nuts because of these rotten bastard politicians, both Democrats and Republicans. There's enough blame to go around. But, Kern, whatever you want to say bad about me, you and that other ass-white bastard, Bob, I'd rather piss in my pants than piss in a urinal sprig. The son of a bitch didn't go to his dad's funeral or his brother's funeral. What does that tell you that the county has coming from a no-good son of a bitch? Did not go. Bob Sprague did not go to his father's funeral, did not go to his brother's funeral. He has no respect for his family because he doesn't know what respect is. So what do you think we've got coming from that rotten bastard, that no-good son of a bitch? But anyway, Kern, take that $50,000. I'll give you $100,000 worth of ads on this station, and I will line it. I will be the voice. This is supporting Mark Kern. Bob Romanik's a no-good, low-life, good-for-nothing, convicted felon son of a bitch. I'll line them for you, Kern. And you know the great listening audience we have all over. We've got about 4 million potential listeners. Now, I only think we have about 3 million listening. But we've got support and listenership all over within a 100-mile radius of St. Louis. And, Kern, I'll voice the negative ads against me. And not only will I do that, I will put $50,000 and match your 50, and I'll give you $100,000 worth of free ads. Now, people, how the hell can he say no to that? You know why? He doesn't give a damn about you people, black and white, Democrats or Republicans, men or women. He'll take those Christmas presents that people give him in Belleville, and he'll dole them out to East St. Louis. He'll go down to Pirtle's last week and buy some quarter ice cream cones for the kids. Why don't you give the people down there and all throughout the county the opportunity to have good jobs, good housing, lower taxes? Why don't you do that, Kern? Safer streets. You're not going to do that because it doesn't affect you, you narcissistic son of a bitch. That's all he thinks about is Kern and the rest of you Democrats. I've heard from good sources. He said, the hell with you. All that ad money is coming out for Kern. Now, hopefully I'll spook them and they'll give you guys some ad money. But Kern, I'm telling you, you can't beat this deal. Give me $50,000. I'll take $50,000. That's $100,000 of our money. Well, my money and your mom and daddy's money. And we'll feed the less fortunate. It's not a political ploy. I've done that for year after year after year. And I don't want to go into it because I do it because I want to do it. I've been doing it recently out of memory of my son, out of respect for my son. And remember this, people, while we're on that subject, I tried to give $10,000 to open up Jones's Park Pool. I tried to give $10,000. They would not take, Kern and Sprague would not take my money. They told the county board they'd have to vote to give East St. Louis $10,000 because they thought it was a political ploy. It was out of honor of my son. See, they try to screw my son when he's dead. They try to screw him when he was alive. And Kern and Sprague, you have to kill me, and not politically, to get me off your rotten, stinking ass. I will never forgive you what you've done to my son, both in life and death. So you no good son of a bitches, you better get the doors locked. You better put the bat in the hatches because Bob Romanik's coming after you. You no good son of a bitches. I mean politically, of course. They'll say I threaten them, son of a bitches. But you rotten bastards. But Kern, you made the people of St. Clair County, and I'm glad the pool got open because it was hot down there in East St. Louis for those less fortunate children. They're not black and white when you're 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old. You're not black or white. You're a child. And you made everybody in St. Clair County pay that $10,000 because you don't want to take my money. Well, I ask you, Kern, you're putting $500,000 in ads to get reelected to a position that I don't think you can get. I think the people are going to come out in droves. I think the people are apathetic. No, it's time for a change. But why wouldn't you have took $10,000 out of your campaign fund? Why wouldn't you have done it, Kern? You think about it, people. Why wouldn't have Kern taken his $10,000 and challenged me? I challenged him. I said, let's both put $10,000. Remember that? But Kern made you, the taxpayers of St. Clair County, pay for that $10,000 opening of Jones's Park Pool. And I have to say, I'm glad that it got open. But I'm not glad that he had to take all your money, the hardworking taxpayers' money, to open it when I was going to give my personal money to open that pool for the less fortunate in East St. Louis. He doesn't have $10,000 of his own money to spend on the children, and he could have. He makes you, the county residents, pay the $10,000 to open up the pool in East St. Louis. And then he adds insult to injury because a no good son of a bitch spends $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 to get his pissy ass face, you nasty son of a bitch. Get his face on billboards all throughout St. Clair County. They're all over 64. These are expensive ads. He's going to come out with political hit pieces on me and on Roger Cook because, see, that's how desperate he is. That's how desperate he is. He's got to spend money on advertising, but I think it's going to be a waste, Kern. It's going to be a waste, you idiot, because people are not going to believe this crap. And even if they do, every candidate we have other than me is better than every candidate you guys have. Take me out of the equation. I'm not a good candidate. I'm not a perfect person. But I'll tell you good people what. I'll fight the fight until it's not fought, until I can't fight anymore. And I'll be honest. I'll fight the fight for you. The people have put me there, but I'm fighting the fight for my son because I don't give a damn. I want to destroy these son of a bitches because they destroyed my son. They destroyed you people. And they're going to destroy your families if you let them. Now, you don't have to like Bob Romanik, but you better understand and like the message. And don't just in St. Clair County. Take it to Monroe County. Take it to Madison County. Take it over to St. Louis with those ass-white bastards slaying those son of a bitches. Somebody directed me to the article in the paper. They tell me the paper, the Belleville paper now is $3 for a weekend edition. You know, they're trying to push everybody to online because it's cheaper for them. But here it says, what will Romanik do? Mr. Romanik, you want to criticize Mr. Boss, and I am going to criticize Mr. Boss. I am going to criticize Bruce Rauner when they're wrong. I'm going to criticize Madigan, the Democrats, when they're wrong. But anyway, you want to criticize these because they haven't done anything for the state. And whoever wrote this is exactly right. I agree with you on your condemnation of the St. Clair County Democratic Party and the culture of corruption. For you, sir, you claim Mr. Boss hasn't done anything. But what is your agenda for representing us in the state of Illinois? The only thing coming out of your mouth is extraneous material. Tell us voters what you intend to do. Well, let me tell you, number one, I don't know why the New Democrat would let somebody call in and not have a name, because when I throw a rock, I wave both my hands. I want you to know where it came from. But anyway, sir or ma'am or whoever the hell you are, I'm going to fight for the people of the 114th legislative district. I'm going to fight to lower their taxes. You know how I'm going to do that? Every time there's an asswipe son of a bitch they want to put on a job, one of their girlfriends, like Claiborne, put all his lady friends, 12, 14 of them making over $100,000 a year up in Springfield, when they want to give their family member a job and benefits and pension for the rest of their life. I'm going to expose them, just like I expose them on the radio. You heard me last week. Why the hell are we paying $135, $145 every year for a 2-cent tag on our car? Our state and local taxes should pay for those roads. Now, they'll tell you we need the money for roads and bridges. Let's use our state and local taxes and our federal taxes. They'll say, no, they don't have it. No, they don't have it because they're giving everybody, all their family and friends, jobs with lifetime pensions that we're paying for. I would say, and I will bring legislation that there not be. You pay for that license plate the first time, $150, that's fair, for the registration fee. It's not a fee, though, people. It's a tax, another tax. But I will fight to stop that. We don't need that $150 that you have to pay for every one of your cars every year. You have already paid your taxes to buy that car. You've already bought that license plate that takes a little bit to produce. Every year, people, we don't need that. And we don't need it if we stop spending so much. And I will never, ever ask for a tax increase. I'm going to ask for 50 years if you abuse a child. I'm going to ask for 30 years if you abuse an animal, because once you start abusing an animal, you go to a child, then you go to an adult, then everybody gets abused. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this crap. I'll never vote for another tax. Rauner wants to bring that 5% tax back. Never, ever will I vote for that. But you know what I'll do more than anything? I will let my mouth overload my ass, because I will expose not only the Democrats, but the Republicans. They're going to wish they never saw me. I'm going to ask. I'm not going to take a salary, sir or madam, whoever wrote this. What am I going to do? I'm not going to take a salary. Not going to take any benefits. I'm going to save the taxpayers $125,000 a year. $125,000 a year, and I've got all the Democrats and Republican legislators pissed at me now because they've listened to the show. They monitor the show. They know that I'm going to ask that they only be taking $30,000, people, for a part-time position, and that position's supposed to be to public service. It's not supposed to be for a career opportunity. $30,000 a year to help your people out, your community out. I think that's more than enough. We don't need pensions for part-time jobs. Holbrook, state representative, he's making $135,000 a year. That's why we're $8 billion, $10 billion in debt. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fight for the people. I'm going to fight for the people of St. Clair County. I'm going to say no money grab on these tickets. When you get a speeding ticket, it's not a fine, it's a tax. So you happen to be, and I'm not talking bad about law enforcement. They're just doing their job. It's the politicians that make the laws. You're driving down a street at 75 miles an hour in a 65 mile an hour zone. You're going to be fined $150. Now, there's no traffic. Sometime it's late at night. You see the guy, policeman to the side of the road, in a little cubby hole, and they get you. And you're wrong, and I speed, and I'm wrong. I got a ticket a couple months ago. You know why? Because I was speeding. But I advocate the first time you get caught speeding for minor or a minor traffic, you get a warning. The second time you get a warning, then the third time you get a ticket from then on. You know how many people would really support the police? Good law-abiding citizens, but they're doing 65 and a 55, and they have to pay $150 out of their pocket to take away from their children. Now, that's just human nature. They're not going to like the police after that. Let's don't put the police on the front line. Let's don't make the police bad guys. Let's make the police good guys that they are. It's these politicians that make them do all these traffic stops. Make them do all this crap because they need the money to put their family to work. Let's put the blame where the blame should be. But anyway, that's some of the things I'm going to do, people, if I'm elected state representative. But the biggest thing I'm going to do, I'm going to stir up the pot. I'm going to expose all these son of a bitches. And that's going to be positive because they can't take the heat. None of these son of a bitches can take the heat. They've never been hit. These politicians, both Democrat and Republican, have never been hit this hard as I'm hitting them. And it's going to get worse, people, before it gets better. And again, I want to thank everybody in Freeburg. We're going to do our housekeeping. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about the Hofbrauhaus. We've got them right in the middle of a bunch of lies. And we're going to go back up to St. Clair County and talk about the two candidates running for judge, Ron Dildo Dupert and John Red on the Noodle, like a pecker on a poodle, Barra Civic. The Belleville Jeergammers Car Show and Cruise coming up Sunday, September the 11th. 9 a.m. show, 4 p.m. cruise. It's going to be a special 9/11 memorial event, and it will be held at Crehan's Irish Pub and Banquet Center, located at 5500 North Belt West in Belleville, Illinois. Free admission, no judging. They're going to have dash plaque, driver's awards. That's Sunday, September the 11th at Crehan's. Our good friends at the Dupo Volunteer Fire Department, they're going to have their circus on October the 9th, and we'll talk about that more a little bit closer. New Memphis Station, Customer Appreciation Hog Roast coming up Saturday, September the 10th, starting at 2 o'clock p.m. Says side dishes provided. You can bring your own, bring a chair. Going to be great music. What else we have here? It's the hog roast. Mount Pleasant's Fish Fry coming up this Saturday, August the 27th from 4 to 7 p.m. Car Cruise coming up September. That's too far down the road. This is already over. You see how organized I am. The DARE program, August the 19th. It's August the 19th already up. That's up. That's up. Hell, that's about it. You can pick me up on iTunes. Type in Bob Romanik and/or the Grim Reaper of Radio. Go to our streaming site, insanebroadcasting.com. One word, common spelling for the best of all three of our great stations. You can listen to my repeat performance every day, Monday through Friday at 4 o'clock p.m. And now, broadcasting from the graveyard to the graveyard every night at the stroke of midnight. Please like us on Facebook, KQQZ 1190 AM or KZQZ 1430 AM. Go to my personal Facebook page, Fans of the Grim Reaper, for all the best of the X-rated cartoons. Funny as hell. Please go there. Don't let your young children go, though. And always remember the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition on Facebook, where you'll get the best, the most informative Facebook page you'll ever want to see. I want to say, coming up Wednesday, our special guest will be Madison County Treasurer Kurt Prenzler. He's the Republican candidate for Madison County board chairman in Madison County. He's going to be here Wednesday. And also, the gentleman we talked about, the veteran who they won't let, who Dunston and those idiots up in Madison County, the Democratic idiots at this time, and if the Republicans were fighting it, I'd say the Republican idiots. They're thinking about having a big march and not a protest, but a rally at the courthouse on Friday in Madison County. And if they do, I will be there broadcasting live, and we'll find out for sure tomorrow. And I would ask every vet, every family member of a vet, every person who has a friend that's a vet, and more so than that, every person that's benefited by the sacrifices that the vets have made, which is everybody. We ought to have 10 million people at the Madison County Courthouse on Friday. I think there's going to be a big rally, not a protest, nothing violent. We want to rally around this gentleman that works for the Veterans Administration, who had a little problem, had a little meltdown, as we all do. Hell, I have a meltdown. I put my fist through a door sometime. I'm not violent. I've never hurt anybody, never hit my girlfriend. Doug Jameson, St. Clair County Republican chairman, and we'll talk about that. But I have. Hell, I'd have $500,000 more. When I get mad, I put my foot through a TV, I put my fist through a wall. I've done that many times, and you guys that haven't done that, you're no good son of a bitches, because you've taken that fist and hit your wife or girlfriend. But, I don't even know where the hell I'm going. I'm so pissed. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of Radio. And you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM. Simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting at its finest. America's bi-state voice. of freedom, Radical Radio. And we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of Radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. I want to say hi. I meet a lot of people every day, and I apologize because I can't remember half the people. Hell, I got to pull over to the side of the road to remember where the hell I'm going when I'm driving down the street sometimes. But Vince Allshed from the Hecker area. I met your wife at Denny's after the parade, I believe, Saturday night. I think I was someplace Saturday night. I wasn't in jail because I'm here. So that's one place I know I wasn't, for a change, of course. But I want to say hi to the Allsheds out of Hecker. Appreciate your guys' support for all of us, and keep up the good work. Now, I broke the story about the Hofbrauhaus, about them not getting any money, about the subcontractors walking off the job. Big front page, top fold in Sunday's paper. Developer Hofbrauhaus's work is continuing. No, it stopped. Maybe it's continuing now. And it says a new spokesman for the development said Friday payments have been made and are being made, and construction of Hofbrauhaus is continuing. Now, you see how they play that game? We forced their hand, people. There was one person out there working, two people out there working. In a major construction job, you'll have plumbers out there. You'll have bricklayers. You'll have carpenters. You'll have HVAC people. You didn't have any of that. They always had one or two on the job. But the impact strategies, and I've got the copy right here, people. Impact lost all week of critical path due to subcontractors pulling off site due to their payment status, lack of payment, and unanswered questions about when are we going to get paid. And owner-supplied material information means, I'm going to tell you what that means. I'm going to interpret that. That means they couldn't reach the owner because he didn't have any money to pay him. That's why they walked off the job. Now, I've got this on Impact Strategy letterhead, people, about what happened. They didn't pay. There was no drawings provided, none of this, none of that. But apparently they fired their old spokesman because in the paper, a new spokesman, they weren't supposed to get this information out. But now they're going to crawdad back and say, oh, no, it's being worked on. It's being worked on. The city, you people know, has committed over $2 million for the sewer, the water, the streets, and nothing's getting done. It was supposed to be open early summer. It's not going to be late fall. It's going to take forever, and they're probably going to get enough money down the road. But it also had in the article that this Keller family of Effingham, they're starting another project down in Alabama somewhere down south. They got what money they were going to get, and, they're out of here. But that Hofbrauhaus is going to be a total debacle when it's all over. And let me give you a little bit of other information, inside information. You know who a supervisor is for Impact Strategies? And Impact Strategies, they're with the Democratic group up here in St. Clair County, or they wouldn't have got the work. Guess who works as a foreman for Impact Strategies? A gentleman they may sound familiar to you. Luke Eckert. The mayor's son is a foreman for Impact Strategies. Now, what do you people think about that in Belleville? Why do you think Eckert wants that job to go so his son can make his $100,000 a year or so as a foreman for the group that he's supporting? And I guess Eckert is more like the spokesman. No, everything's going to be okay. Eckert says, how do you know, Eckert? You don't know what the hell's going on at the city hall that you're the mayor of. How the hell you know what's going on with this construction? And the spokesman for Brauhaus developers, Work is continuing every day. The project is definitely going to be finished. Well, I hope so. Hell, they finished the arch, but it took 7 years. The project is the largest Hofbrauhaus project in North America. It may be, and it's going to be the most unsuccessful to come here when you've got these ass-wipe son of a bitches. But this guy says there's too many moving parts in the construction process for the development to announce the completion date. What the hell are they talking about? That's what construction is. You understand what this idiot just said? There are too many moving parts in the construction process for the developer to announce the completion date of the Hofbrauhaus. They have a tentative date for every building they've ever put up. It's unbelievable, people. And the Kellers do not have an announcement on the hotels. They have said 3 or 4 hotels, several restaurants, a convention center, a convenience store, soccer parks. These people have lied to the politicians, and the politicians are stupid enough, Eckert and the boys in Belleville are stupid enough to believe it. But in my hand, people, I've got the impact strategy. This is the kind of the underbelly. Maybe this wasn't supposed to get out, but this tells about nothing being completed, nothing being done. The trim out, 0. Fixture, 0. Insulation, 0. Ductwork, pipe, gas piping, temperature control, 0. Fixtures and trim out for the electrical, 0. Building insulation, sheet metal, gutters and downspout, 0, 0, 0. You people, you know what's going on. They're trying to get other investors. They don't have the money. And the city's committed $34 million of your potential money that could be gone for something else due to sales tax and TIF money. Belleville people, you ought to be livid. And you ought to be more livid because these bastards are lying to you. Big article in the paper. Don't believe it. Now they're back on the job. I exposed it. We've scared them. They're going to go back and they're going to get some money together and they're going to put 4 or 5 people. But drive by that place next to the shrine. It's been going on forever. All they have is the outer structure up. That job should have been completed. Any other construction crew, it would have been completed. But now, Impact Strategies, they're mad because this report got out. And it is a report. And this is not alleged, people. I've got it in my hand. I've got it in my hand. Impact lost all week of critical path due to subcontractors pulling off site. And this is the words of Impact Strategies now. The politicians got the Impact Strategies and said, hey, guys, you know, you're working with us. You're making us look bad. Impact Strategy, I guess, I would assume is saying, well, you know, we'll try to clean that up. We're sorry that got out. But unless you're Ray Charles, you can see what's going on with this crap. It's going to take forever. It's going to take forever. It's going into September, October, November. It's going to get cold. This will be lucky to be open by the middle part of next year. They don't have the money. I shart the politicians. The mayor should have vetted these people and said, hey, until you come up with a viable plan, and listen to me, people, I'm probably the second stupidest son of a bitch involved in this deal. Mark Eckert is the first. You're not telling me, with all this money being committed to this development by you good people, not the mayor, but you good, hard-working taxpayers of Belleville, you wouldn't have had a commitment on a hotel, a 5-star hotel. You wouldn't have had a commitment about all the financing. You wouldn't have had a commitment about the monies in the bank to be distributed accordingly when the work was done. I'm not a big construction guy, but I know that. I'm smart enough to know that. But you know why? Apparently, in my opinion, Impact Strategy was going to be the general contractor. And guess who keeps working at $100,000 plus a year? Luke Eckert, the mayor's son. Can you see all the political inbreeding in that, people? And the mayor, I don't think he cares, because I've been told through good sources that if he screws things up enough this year, and Roger Cook is fortunate enough to win for county board, and if he wins for county board chairman, you people will all benefit, not just Roger Cook. You people will all benefit, because Roger's going to expose this culture of corruption the last 40 years in St. Clair County. But Eckert doesn't give a damn, because he's been promised a job at Lindenwood University, probably $100,000 a year, because he's running interference for everything they do. And you can see it's all self-serving for the Eckert family in Belleville. But Luke Eckert, And if I'm wrong, Mayor, defend your son. I'm not talking bad about your son. I'm talking factually about your son. Is he or is he not employed by Impact Strategies? And you're sitting there like you belong to the Impact Strategies. Oh, everything's going to be okay. Impact Strategies does a good job, this and that and whatever. You people have to understand all this political inbreeding, nothing's going to get done there. It will eventually be built. They'll get somebody with money. But think about it. If it had been a good location for any development, every 5-star hotel would have been bidding, would have been giving money, would have been fighting to come to this location. It's been a year, people, and they still haven't announced a hotel. You know why they haven't announced a hotel? Because there's none. There's no 2, 3, 4, 5-star hotel going to want to come to town. Now, whenever you have a hotel that the rooms aren't $200 a day, they're $10 an hour, you know what kind of hotel you're getting. And that's probably what's going on there. Hell, they might as well just put a little restaurant in the EJ Motel right there on Route 15. Those 5 or 6 cabins, hell, they could have been up and going by now. But Eckert, you deserve what you get, and that's everybody giving you crap. You should give the good people of Belleville an apology for your stupidity, for your arrogance, and maybe for your political corruption over this debacle development at Hofbrauhaus. But you can't do that, Eckert, because you'd have to put your son to work at the flower shop. And you idiot, you're not even qualified to sell flowers, you little pansy bastard. But to be a pansy selling pansies. What a no-good son of a bitch, people. People in Belleville, you better understand Eckert. You better understand what he's done. Not to you on the good side, but to you on the real bad side. He has screwed you people, and even more than that, he has lied to everybody time after time after time. And he's part of Kern, he's part of Sprague. They're all inbred up there in Belleville, people. Let's stop that in November the 8th. And then once Roger Cook and the Freedom Coalition win, it'll be a party of the people, not a Democratic Party, not a Republican Party, but a party uniting all Democrats, all Republicans, black, white, men and women. What a great concept. We don't have to be a party. We have to be people who are qualified. So let's get everybody together. Don't have to be the best of friends. Don't have to drink together. Don't have to eat together. Don't have to sleep together. Maybe Kern and Eckert and Ron Dupert, I don't know. I'll talk about him after the break. But people, understand on a serious note, this crap that's going on, we have exposed this about the Impact Strategy Report, and now they're crawdadding back. They're crawdadding back. And it's not going to be pretty at the end of the day, people. Not going to be pretty for us, the taxpayers. So let's understand the fight that we're in. Let's don't be apathetic. You play right into their hand because they want to make you apathetic so you won't come out and vote. If we get everybody to come out and vote that's been screwed by the Belleville Democrats, the St. Clair County Democratic culture of corruption, we'll win 5-1. Don't let these son of a bitches beat, not us. Don't let these son of a bitches beat you. Hey, and before we go, a friend of mine heard me talk about kicking a TV, putting my fist through a wall. And you men out there, you know you've done the same thing. But he said there's a good motto for that I ought to use, a good campaign slogan. Kick a TV, not your wife. Doug Jamison, the St. Clair County Republican chairman. Kick a TV, not your wife. And we'll talk about him and Ron Dupert and John Barasivic right after this break. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting at its finest. America's bi-state voice of freedom. Radical Radio And we are, as always, very, very proud to be the Patriot. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ, 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ, 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting at its finest. America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, very proud to be the Patriot. Election time's coming up, and you know all the negative crap going on in the newspaper, on TV. You'll get the good thing for me. Hell, they can't say anything bad about me that I haven't said about myself, and I'll continue to say it. People, I'm not perfect, but I haven't, and I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. But I'll never make the biggest mistake that anyone can make. You hear me? The biggest. That's not do anything, and I'm going to fight the fight. You can't always hit a home run up at the plate. You maybe strike out. That doesn't make you a failure. That's not a mistake. That's just part of the game. Making mistakes in life is part of life, people. You can sit on your duff watching TV all day, never make a mistake, but you will make the biggest mistake, not being a productive citizen to this great United States of America. And that's one thing they can never say about Bob Romanik. I'm going to do what I think's right, even if it's wrong. And if it's wrong, I'll apologize. I'll take my hits. But I'm not going to sit back and do nothing, people. I guarantee you, you're going to see a change with people like me, people like you. Let's get together. But we've got this judge crap going on. And we were at the parade, and this asswipe, no good for nothing, son of a bitch, Doug Jamison, the leader of the St. Clair County Republicans, see, and they've censored me. They've thrown me out of the party. Democrats don't like me. The Democratic organization, of course. The Republican organization don't like me. That's 5, 6, 10% of the people. I hope the other 90%, both Democrats and Republicans, men, women, black or white, like me, because they're going to see some changes. They're going to see some changes in Springfield, because we're not going to let up on them. We're going to fight them tooth and nail, and I've got the guts to do it, and you people do too. And together, you hear me, together we can do it. But anyway, I saw Doug Jamison, the asswipe bastard who's been charged with domestic battery. I've got it all here in my hand. All you got to do is go to the circuit clerk. And Boss is condoning that because he hasn't condemned the St. Clair County Republican chairman. And I'll get on Boss tomorrow. I don't have enough time today. And Rauner is taking his support. He's not condemning this man. A man for DUIs, a man for not paying $100,000 in child support, a man who's been charged with domestic battery, a man who was ordered to take psychological testing. And Rauner, you're endorsing? You're fighting with this man, Congressman Bost? Why aren't you condemning this gentleman? The Republican Party condemned me because I cussed them out. But anyway, I saw at the Republican, at the parade yesterday, the Republican chairman wearing a Ron Dupert shirt in support of Ron Dupert. And that just goes along with everything else. Ron Dupert saying that Barra Civic shouldn't make, and I'm not for Barra Civic and I'm not for Dupert. See, I'm an equal opportunity political hater. One Democrat, one Republican. I'm for the Republican people. I'm for the Democratic people, not the Democratic and Republican organization. But Dupert, he's got some nasty ads out, and Dupert, I'm coming after you for one reason and one reason only. Joe Christ and his family. That man did nothing ever to you, you bastard. You're as bad as these son of a bitches come after my son. My son never did nothing to them. I did it. My son didn't. Joe Christ did nothing to you. Joe Christ's family has to live this tragedy every day. Joe Christ was a judge who had an addiction, who apparently had an addiction, a problem. That didn't hurt you per se, Dupert, but every day with your nasty ass ad, you bring up that name. You bring up that name, Joe Christ. He was a great family man. Everybody said he was. He was a great son. He had a problem. But you're going to resurrect the pain and suffering to his family every day so you can get elected, you ass-white bastard, so you can get elected to judge, you incompetent son of a bitch. That's what pisses me off. I don't give a damn about Bear Civic. I think the same about him. You're gonna throw this gentleman, this dead gentleman, under the bus, and you're gonna put his family, and that was no fault of their own that Joe Christ apparently had an addiction. It wasn't the family's fault. It wasn't his sons and daughters. You put this crap out, you rotten bastard, Ron Dildo Dupert, and you're killing those children. And that pisses me off more than winning an election. You don't hurt children, especially that had nothing to do with it. You can run a campaign without putting that name out there. But no, Dupert, you decided you're going to win at all costs. Well, I don't think so, Ron Dupert. You know, you can talk the talk, but you can't walk the walk, you stupid son of a bitch. I would challenge you to leave that alone, Dupert. There's enough corruption going on with the Democrats in St. Clair County that you can come after Bear Civic without opening up that wound for the Chris family, because they don't deserve it. They don't need it. You wouldn't want it done to your family, you rotten bastard, but you're going to do it to his family. You can come after Bear Civic about his record. You can come after Bear Civic about his lack of leadership. But when you say Bear Civic can make people take drug tests, and I have to defend him. If you're right, you're right. If you're wrong in my book, and you're wrong, Dupert. Bear Civic can't make these judges. The Supreme Court says he can't make these judges. But then you're going to be a stupid asswipe that you've taken drug tests. Well, hell yeah, Dupert, you could clean yourself up 2 weeks, and then you have never taken a random drug test that somebody told you to. You took a test at your leisure. You took a test when you wanted to take it, Dupert, not whenever they told you to take it. And you no good son of a bitch. I'm going to pay you back a little bit. I don't know the Chris family, but I know he has children, and I had a child. And you no good rotten bastard, you'd have done that to me and my kid. You'd have been in worse shape politically, of course, than you are now. But here, he's such a nice guy and worried about throwing somebody's family under the bus. Belleville News Democrat. Lawyer is charged. Man says attorney lured him to his car and fondled him. And you know who the attorney that was charged, and it was alleged that this attorney lured this 18-year-old black gentleman into a car and fondled him? No other than the self-righteous Ron Dupert. Ron Dupert, I'm going to pay you back for hurting that Chris family. And I don't even know that family, but I know those children. You rotten son of a bitch. Lawyer Ron R. Dupert was arrested Friday and charged with battery in connection with an 18-year-old Belleville's man's allegation now that the lawyer lured him into his Lexus, oh boy, and fondled him. I hope it wasn't with your lips, Dupert. I don't think that's fondling. I don't know. I'm just asking. Dupert was listed his residence, and you guys can drive by there. I'm sure he still lives there. 14 Potter Mill Road. Surrendered to the Belleville police. The complaint was made by, I won't even mention this kid's name. He was 18 years old and still a kid, who said Dupert struck up a conversation with him in the elevator at the courthouse when this gentleman was leaving a postponed county court hearing. This gentleman says, or victim, says Dupert sympathized with him, turned his focus on the concentration of his burglary charge, and then suggested that this gentleman ride with Dupert in his Lexus to the attorney's office to talk more about his case. Once at the law firm's parking lot, this is alleged now, it's in the News Democrat, said Dupert made sexually explicit comments and fondled him. Now that's the kind of judge I want. Hell, if you're having a bad day and you're the defendant, maybe the judge will come down and fondle you. Whatever fondling means. If it includes lips, I know what it means, and I think you good people do. But Scott said he was, I can't hardly read this. It's coming off. Said that he had the inclination to punch Dupert. I guess so. If some ignorant, stupid lawyer fondled me, especially with his lips. If it was his lips, I'd feel like I'd like to beat the crap out of the son of a bitch, causing a diversion to him and allowing him to exit the vehicle. Damn, Dupert, what the hell's going on? This sounds like a porn flick to me. This gentleman said he'd been inclined to first punch Dupert, but thought better, and instead he fled the complainant. He filed a complaint against him about 4 hours later. Dupert said he did not know Scott and called the allegations crazy. Dupert, is he crazy or are you gay? And I don't mind. I'm asking. I don't know. And if any guy's gay, I don't care. But if a guy's gay, he don't accost a gentleman unless the gentleman wants to be accosted. And apparently this gentleman didn't want to be accosted because he filed a complaint with the Belleville Police Department. Unless he did not know him. Dupert, I think you might have lied about this. I don't know. I'm trying to get this up. And Dupert, let's see, he was dismissed from the state's assistant prosecutor's office after that allegation. And also, boy, I tell you, this crap here, assistant state's attorney fired for role with BAC trustee. He was also fired surrounding allegations, blah, 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 who listed Dupert's address. He apparently lied about where this lady lived, this McReynolds. But Dupert, Ron Dupert, you're such a great guy, such a great candidate for judge, and it hurts me to say that. It hurts me to say that because I don't like Bear Civic as much as I don't like you. But I don't think Bear Civic's ever fondled anybody. He's run a corrupt political system up there in the courthouse and an EP system. But you're no better than Bear Civic, Dupert. You're even worse. And Dupert, every time you bring that up again, I'll be on your ass because I don't think it's right as a father. The Chris family doesn't deserve it. That shows what an asswipe bastard you are. You don't give a damn about destroying somebody's family. They're already destroyed. Their dad, their husband, their son's gone. He didn't hurt you when he died of an overdose. He hurt his family. But you're going to resurrect it? Ron Dupert, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, you rotten bastard, and feel free. You're an attorney. Feel free to call in and defend yourself. 1-888-394-1430. On the east side, 394-1190. Now, somebody told me, Bob, that's not political expedience. You're going to piss people off. The Republicans, I don't give a damn. I'd rather lose the election. I'd rather not have a penny than to destroy somebody's family after their father, their son, and their husband has died. Dupert, you don't need to rake this gentleman over the coals. He can't defend himself. But I, as a father, I, as a son, I will defend him and anybody. I would defend Bear Civic if you did it to him. You no good son of a bitch. You just pissed me off. People, that's how nasty this election's going to get. And you got to get past the nastiness. You got to tell yourself and ask yourself, no matter how good or bad these people are who are in office, after 30, 40 years, they have done nothing but lie to you, but take your money to raise your taxes, hurt you and your family's future. You need to give other people a chance. And if other people don't do it, don't give them, you hear me, don't give them 40 years, give them 4. So Ron Dupert, I challenge you to come on my show and defend yourself, you rotten bastard, you and bring that asswipe bastard with you, Doug Jamieson, the head of the Republican Party who's wearing your shirt in the parade. You two asswipe son of a bitches deserve each other. You two no good son of a bitches. Ron Dupert, I'm calling you out. Less than a man, less than a human being. But Dupert, you say in here about he needs to come forward. Let me get what he said. And we're running out of time, but we're going to take time because I don't give a damn. This son of a bitch pisses me off. It says he ought to come. Oh, Dupert says of Bear Civic, I want you to come clean, so to speak. Why don't you come clean, you asswipe? Come clean. You come clean, Ron Dupert. Come clean, if you know what I mean. And I think you do. Ron Dupert, what an asswipe bastard. Don't you ever, Dupert, don't you ever think you're bigger and you're more important than a poor family who's already suffered. Keep that gentleman out of your... Go after Bear Civic. Go after these politicians. Don't go after a dead man who can't defend himself, you piece of political crap. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio. And you've been listening to one pissed off son of a bitch as a father is a son. People, think about it. These asswipe bastards go to no extreme to win an election. What pieces of crap, political low-life, bottom-feeding, political perverted crap they are. And you're listening to the all-new KQQZ, 1190 AM. Simulcasting on KZQZ, 1430 AM. Insane Broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom. Radical Radio, and we are, as always, very, very proud to be the Patriot. Come on back tomorrow. We're going to be all over Dupert, Bear Civic. We're going all around the political horn, people. We're going to expose these son of a bitches night and day. Expose them for what they are. You see, through my show, through our efforts, people, our efforts, we can expose these son of a bitches. We can run them out of office. We can get back on the right track to make this country great again. I don't give a damn if it's Trump, if it's Hillary. I love that. Let's make this country great again, because we've lost our greatness due to these asswipe, no-count, good-for-nothing political parasites, these political leaders, these career politicians, both Democrat and Republican. Let's let all of us, the decent rank-and-file Democrats, the decent rank-and-file Republicans, black and white, men and women, the 90% of us, let's take back, as a majority rule, let's take back our government, and let's benefit all of us, people, not just them and their families. So let's continue, all of us, to unite, to expose these political, parasitical, perverted, low-life, bottom-feeding, no-good son of a bitchin', perverted politicians. And when it's all said and done, and I'm not being facetious, people, I'm serious as a heart attack. We got to destroy these son of a bitches because they're coming after us. They're like zombies. It's hard to kill them, but we can. We can kill them politically on election day. So let's destroy them, destroy these career politicians once and for all. Destroy them politically, of course. Right here on the dark side.
They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha. To the funny farm where life...